Barack Obama calls for the governor of Illinois to resign. Instead, Blagojevich out of jail and back to work. And Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. explains how he's connected to this massive investigation. From our new home in Studio 12H in New York, this is Fox Report HD. Word of movement on a plan to give billions to the car companies.
We've made very substantial progress.
But many are not on board.
The federal government is about to give away more taxpayer dollars to those with their corporate hands out.
Well, maybe not. Tonight, developments in the deal to save Detroit. And yesterday, he was pulled out of his house in handcuffs, accused of trying to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat. So what's the governor of Illinois doing today? He's back at work, of course. Plus, who else could get caught up in this scandal? First from Fox tonight, the Illinois governor goes back to work. The question tonight is, for how long? Governor Blagojevich heading back to the office this morning, one day after being charged with what the feds call a staggering corruption crime spree. One of the state's deputy governors resigned today, and there are new calls from the highest levels tonight for Blagojevich to resign as well. And now we know who the mysterious candidate number 5 is in the criminal complaint against the governor. He's the Illinois Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. Candidate number 5 is the man whose aides the governor apparently believed were ready to cough up hundreds of thousands of dollars to, in essence, buy Barack Obama's now vacated Senate seat. The congressman says he did, in fact, meet with the governor on Monday to talk about taking over that seat. But Jackson insists he did nothing wrong.
I did not initiate or authorize anyone at any time to promise anything to Governor Blagojevich on my behalf. I never sent a message or an emissary to the governor to make an offer, to plead my case, or to propose a deal about a U.S. Senate seat, period.
Congressman Jackson says he will cooperate with investigators and that he plans to meet with them as soon as Friday. Carl Cameron's on Fox Top Story live in Chicago. Carl, the feds say the governor is on tape talking about candidate number 5.
That's right, Shep. These are allegations, and what they allege involves the governor taking a phone call, and these tapes allegedly say that he believed that an emissary was being sent to him to essentially offer to, quote, pay to play, raise more than $500,000 in exchange for Jesse Jackson Jr., candidate number 5, getting the Senate seat. Now, of course, Jackson says that's simply not true. At one point today, he said it's impossible for that to have been true. Nobody was authorized to do this on his behalf. And today, Jesse Jackson Jr. went after Blagojevich hard.
I believe that the governor, in the best interest of our state, should resign and forfeit his authority to make the Senate appointment. The fact is, anyone appointed by the governor at this point would be too severely tainted to serve the state effectively and without suspicion in the United States Senate.
There's now something of an avalanche of people calling for Blagojevich's resignation, and it's worth noting that Jesse Jackson Jr. said that his meeting on Monday with Blagojevich was the first time in 4 years the two had been together.
Man, the list of people calling for him to step down is getting longer and longer.
President-elect Barack Obama joined that list today. U.S. Senate Democrats are circulating a petition that will ultimately be sent to Blagojevich, saying that he should resign and that he should heed their warnings and not appoint a successor to fill that seat. And there are a host of other things, including the lieutenant governor of the state of Illinois, a Democrat, who also thinks that, well, if he doesn't step down, there could be another step.
I hope the governor decides to step aside, resign. I think the ordeal of an impeachment proceeding would not be healthy for Illinois, for our economy, for our workers.
And this coming Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock local time here in Illinois, the Illinois legislature will gather. They plan to pass legislation that would strip Blagojevich of the authority to fill the vacant seat and call for a special election, Shep.
Carl Cameron live tonight in our Chicago newsroom. Now, President-elect Obama and his call for the governor to resign. He says the state legislature should consider a special election to fill that empty Senate seat. And Obama's spokesman saying, quote, under the current circumstances, it is difficult for the governor to effectively do his job and serve the people of the state of Illinois. Major Garrett live in Washington tonight. Major, what kind of relationship does Mr. Obama have with the governor?
Well, Shepard, it's important to understand in Chicago politics, everyone knows everyone else, particularly in Democratic circles. So they know each other, that is to say, Governor Blagojevich and President-elect Obama. As a matter of fact, back in 2002, when Governor Blagojevich ran for the very first time, a key advisor to him was none other than President-elect Obama. But over the years, that relationship has become strained, and it was becoming ever clearer to those in the Obama inner circle that Blagojevich was running a pretty rough, if not corrupt, governorship, something that was bordering on that, and they kept their distance, and the relationship is, at best, strained.
Major, there's a question tonight about whether the president-elect's chief of staff ever talked to the governor about that Senate seat.
That's right. The Obama transition officials I've asked about this simply will not respond to that question. Did Rahm Emanuel, former congressman who, by the way, Shepard, took the House seat once occupied by Rod Blagojevich, did he have any conversations since the election about this vacant Senate seat? They won't answer that. And Barack Obama, in an interview with the Chicago Tribune yesterday, said this in response to that direct question, quote, "It's an ongoing investigation. I think it would be inappropriate for me to, remark on the situation beyond the facts that I know. And that's the fact that I didn't discuss this issue with the governor at all." A denial from President-elect Obama, but no comment whatsoever, up or down, yes or no, about what his chief of staff did or did not do.
And, Major, then there's the comment or a debate about the comment from his senior advisor.
That's right. What we have there is a very direct statement from the president-elect, similar to what he said when he sat alongside former Vice President Al Gore yesterday, that he had no contact with the governor. But take a look at what his senior advisor, David Axelrod, told our Fox affiliate in Chicago, WFLD, near the end of November. Let's take a quick listen.
I know he's talked to the governor, and there are a whole range of names, many of which have surfaced, and I think he has a fondness for a lot of them.
I know he talked to the governor. That sounds pretty declarative. Yet yesterday, as we reported on this show, Shepard, David Axelrod put out a statement through the Obama Transition Office saying he was mistaken. At no time did the president-elect speak to the governor about this issue at all. He made a mistake. That's
Major Garrett live in Washington tonight. Major, thanks. A final vote in the House